Can you believe it's already halfway through April and the real estate market is not slowing down here in Reno, Sparks? Let's dive in and take a look to see what happened. As I hinted, we're not slowing down, and we actually saw prices jump up quite a bit from about $546,000 to $575,000 median home price for a single-family home here in Reno, Sparks. You can take a look at the graph over the last 13 months, and you can see that we've been kind of hovering around, and we got back up from our low point back in January. Now, what's really telling about a real estate market is how quickly homes are selling, and we can see the median days to contract for March was 12 days. That's right. On the median days to have your offer accepted for your home was only 12 days, less than 2 weeks. So you can see over the last 13 months, the only time in the last 13 months that happened was April of last year. So very strong market. There are a lot of buyers out there, and that's because our inventory is a little bit lower too. Now, looking at price point, how is that affecting the days to contract? You can really start to see, obviously, the red is February, the black is March, and you can see, even the 1.5 million to and above actually came down quite a bit from 162 days to 67 days, so just over 2 months. And look at the 1 to 1.5 million from 102 days down to 18 days. That's right, for $1 to $1.5 million homes, 18 days to contract. Wow. Now, looking at our sold listings, our new listings, and our inventory, and kind of comparing them, how they're going, you can see our inventory is down again, down from 537 down to 508 homes available for sale here. And you can see, look at the sold units though, the black there went from 346 sold down to 332. So that means less homes did sell in March than did in February. So very interesting there. I wanted to dig a little bit into inventory again. That right now is one of the strongest points and main factors of what we're seeing in our market. If you look across the country, and you may even hear some things across the country of prices softening a bit more, but because of our inventory, and a lot of areas too, we see inventory jumping up in areas. That's not the case here in Reno, Sparks. We actually have been continuing to see inventory drop. And because of that, prices are holding steady, if not going up. So 500 went from 543 to 508. So very telling there. Looking at price range, what's available in your price range, or how many homes are available in your price range, and you can see where most of the homes were lost. You can see the $600,000 to $749,000 went from 120 homes in your price range down to 108, so they lost 12 homes. Now, taking a look at month supply of inventory of homes for sale, you can see that we did quite the drop from 2.2 months supply of inventory down to 1.5 months. That is actually the lowest we've seen since March of last year. Now, taking a look at our pending sales, this is kind of my fortune teller moment, and that's going to kind of forecast what our sales are going to be over the next 30 days or so. And you can see it went from 414 to 419, so just a slight increase. And you can kind of, and this is about where we can kind of tell where the rest of the spring-summer market is going. So we kind of held flat there, and I think a lot of that is because of our low inventory. So very interesting to see that, it did jump like it did from January to February, held pretty flat there. And again, inventory is definitely limiting those pending sales. Taking a look at our pending sales by different price points, you can see actually most of these stayed the same. The one that actually was the biggest jump was that, look at that $400,000 to $500,000 price point, went from 96 homes going under contract to 111 homes under contract. That's right. So quite a few there. That seems to be quite the biggest demand, and most of that went pending in the biggest in-demand price point, looks like. Now let's dive into the hyper-local market, looking city by city at what's happening, because it's always interesting how different just one little submarket can be. So jumping right into Reno, you can see, look at that, median home price for Reno, $613,000. That is over 8.5% jump from last month. Wow. Inventory is down to just 358 homes for sale in Reno alone. New listings at up 12% from last month. That's good, but obviously not enough since inventory is still continuing to drop. And only 11 days to contract in Reno. Now heading over to Sparks, $535,500. Not as big of a jump like we did see in Reno, but still a jump nonetheless, up 0.8%. Inventory down as you could expect, and still even with a 40%, over 40% increase in new listings, that was not enough to keep that inventory. And median days to contract down to 15 days now. Heading out to Fernley, $394,270, just creeping up on that $400,000 mark. That was an increase of 2.4%. Look at the year over year, 10.4% increase in Fernley. Let's look at our new listings. New listings were actually down in Fernley, which is so interesting seeing how, and that's why I say looking at each different market can be very telling. Down 43 to 43 new listings, and inventory is at 63, so it dropped quite a bit as well. And median days to contract, 28 days. To our capital of Carson City, $585,000 median home price. This was another big jump one, 8.3% jump. Again, so that crossed that Sparks price point, so $585,000 for Carson City. Look at that year over year number for Carson City, 30% in the last year. Now, I do think potentially some properties did kind of fluctuate this number. You look, only 45 homes sold, so if just a couple of homes had a high price point, they could definitely affect this number and start shifting it to a higher price point. So very interesting there. We'll track and see over the next month or two if that sticks or if it was maybe just kind of a fluke month. But nonetheless, 585. Inventory's down to 72 homes there. That's down 16%. And new listings stayed flat at 45 new listings. 22 days to. Heading a little bit further south to Minden and Gardnerville, quite a drop there month over month, actually down 20%. So lots of big fluctuations going on in the market, as you can see. So either a big jump up in Carson, but big drop down in Gardnerville and Minden. But nonetheless, year over year for there is still up over 18%. Inventory is at 122 homes down, and even with flat listings, new listings at 46. Took quite a lot longer to get a home sold in Gardnerville and Minden, 48 days to contract. I want to close this out with back in Reno and Sparks for our condos and townhomes. Median sales price of $350,000. Our active inventory is at 185 listings for sale, just a slight decrease. And new listings, quite a jump up. New listings up 34% from last month, so 114 new listings. Median days to contract, 19 days. A lot going on in this market, and it's definitely, with interest rates remaining higher than we anticipated by this point, we're definitely seeing a lot more fluctuations on the market, and we might continue to see that for the time being. But make sure you stay tuned with us here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, and hit that like button as well. It helps me keep making videos for you. Watch my other videos over here where you can track market updates and things like that, as well as our mortgage updates. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.